What the fuck is that? You seeing that, right?
Stopped because
they're fucking drones.
What is that?
These are all drones in the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 right here.
For the past few weeks, New Jersey residents have been reporting thousands of strange drone sightings. And at this point, I think it's fair to call them what they are: UAPs. Because even the Pentagon and White House can't seem to explain what they are, where they're coming from, and what they're doing here.
At this time, we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
Some of these drones are as large as SUVs and are showing advanced capabilities.
Oh my God, here we go. Here it is. Are you freaking kidding me right now? What is that?
The FAA has responded with temporary flight restrictions over critical areas while federal authorities investigate.
An alarming drone incident that forced one of the U.S.'s most critical Air Force bases to close its airspace for several hours. This happened at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base over the weekend.
Med Flight 8 Patterson Tower, use extreme caution for heavy UAS movement on the base. Security forces is handling the situation, and I gotta keep the lights down so that security forces can see.
But the question is, are these drones part of a secret project, misidentified aircraft, or something more nefarious?
He's like right there with it. Oh, he's like right on it. Oh, that whatever it was just shut down the drone, if that was a drone.
We have no evidence at this time that the reported drone sightings pose a national security or a public safety threat, or have a foreign nexus. We have not been able to, and neither have state or local law enforcement authorities, corroborate any of the reported visual sightings.
They don't know where the drones are coming from, they don't know who's doing it, they don't know why they're doing it, but they say there's no credible threat. Why would you call a meeting and tell people you don't know anything?
It's hard for me to believe the government doesn't know what's going on. The Defense Department is claiming that these drones are just hobbyists, and the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, in an interview said this:
"We haven't seen anything unusual. We know of no threat."
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. We can't just shoot a drone out of the
But
sky.
do you know for sure these are drones or unmanned aircraft? What are they?
We believe that there are cases of mistaken identity where drones are actually small aircraft and people are misidentifying them. They're very well maybe drones in the sky, of course, but those are commercially available. One can go into a convenience store and buy a small drone. There are also commercial drones as well. But we know of no threat or nefarious activity.
But if it is just hobbyist, wouldn't the government know this for a fact? All hobbyist drones are required to have remote IDs. If these are just hobbyists, they absolutely can and would track them, and they would know exactly where they came from and who they belong to. In fact, the FAA just passed a law in September of 2023 that states that anyone who's flying a drone greater than 250 grams must outfit their drone with remote ID. Remote ID is a way of broadcasting the information and location of the drone in the drone's pilot. If a drone pilot is found to be flying without remote ID, including hobbyists, there would 100% be a problem, and it would be seen as a threat. In fact, in the new law, the FAA states, remote ID lays the foundation of the safety and security groundwork needed for more complex drone operations. It acts like a digital license plate and will help the FAA, law enforcement, and other federal agencies locate the control station when a drone appears to be flying in an unsafe manner or where it isn't allowed to fly. Just to be clear, when they say federal agencies, they're talking about the FBI and possibly Homeland Security. So I'm not buying this story that the FBI and the Pentagon and the entire Defense Department doesn't know where these things are coming from. If they don't know, then that must mean they don't have remote IDs. Otherwise, they could track them. And if they don't have remote IDs, then they absolutely do have the authority to deal with the situation as though it is a threat. If these drones were truly unidentified, they would have already been shot down. So, what's really going on here? Well, it would seem the obvious answer would be that these drones belong to the US government. In fact, here's a story from the Daily Mail that has just surfaced recently, and it reads, a 2018 defense contract awarded $50 million to a private robotics company to develop crafts capable of creating 3D maps of urban areas for a counter-weapons of mass destruction program. The contract was given out by Army's Armament Research Development and Engineering Center, ARDEC, which is located at the Picatinny Arsenal in Rockaway, New Jersey, where mystery drones were first reported last month. Meanwhile, documents show the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, issued an air restriction alert on November 21st, prohibiting flights over the Picatinny base for special security reasons through December 26th. The White House has claimed the drone sightings, which coincidentally began on November 18th, are not a foreign adversary, pose no threat, and are not part of a U.S. military operation. Retired CIA intelligence officer Rudy Rodolphi told thedailymail.com, this FAA notice shows U.S. drone testing is happening in the area. It's a warning for others to stay out of the area during those dates. While the nature of the testing isn't specified, it's most likely the testing of payloads related to reconnaissance. And again, I'm not buying it. If this is a defense contract operation, testing drones, 3D scanners, and payloads related to reconnaissance, they would have just done this in the desert somewhere. Why would they do this in New Jersey? Wouldn't they want to keep this technology under wraps and away from hostile nations? This story is now on the front page of every newspaper. It seems to me that whatever's going on, the government knows about it. The fact that they're not shooting them down says to me one thing, that they belong to them. At least some portion of them do. The fact that this is happening in airspace readily visible to civilians tells me something else. This is reactionary, and they're forced to be out in the open. In other words, if this was just a simple scheduled test of military drone capabilities and equipment, they would have done this on some top-secret military base miles away from prying eyes. After putting all this information together, I believe for some reason they were forced to be in New Jersey as a response to something. What that something is, I don't know. But whatever they're doing, they don't think we can handle the truth better than the speculation. They're more afraid of us knowing what's happening than keeping us in the dark. There's also another story going on about lost radioactive material in the New Jersey area. So maybe they're looking for that. I don't know. The more I look into that claim, the less it makes sense. But look into it yourself and let me know what you think. I'll leave the article in the description. Whatever is going on seems to be spreading. We're now getting sightings from Tennessee, Florida, Louisiana, California, and all over the US and Canada. So keep your eyes to the sky. And in the meantime, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember to stay vigilant, fellow truth seekers, because the truth is out there. End transmission.